Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. I am Fredicia Liburd. The Nevis Physical Planning and Development Control Amendment Bill 2019 was passed today, Tuesday, May 21st, 2019, in the Nevis Island Assembly. The bill amends the Nevis Physical Planning and Development Control Ordinance, Chapter 6.09N, and for matters related to thereto or connected therewith. Among some 30 amendments was the insertion of 2 new definitions in Section 2.
The definition for beach in this ordinance would be: beach means that an area of the coastal zone from the seaward limit of the foreshore running inland to the vegetation line or other natural barrier represented by a marked change in material or natural physiographic form, whichever is closer to the landward limit of the foreshore, or when there is no such marked change in the material or natural physiographic form, the beach shall be deemed to extend to a distance of 20 meters landward from the mean high water mark, or such lesser distance as may be determined by the minister in consultation with the Director of Physical Planning, and the beach may consist of sand, stones, gravel, shingle, coral fragment, or boulders.
The principal ordinance was also amended by repealing Section 17.
17(2) or 3. An application for permission to develop land shall not be made unless the director has considered and accepted the concept of the development to which the application relates. Mr. President, this whole section of Section 17 speaks to the application to develop land. And as indicated, Mr. President, that initial section will be reworked slightly as it regards to the application to develop land.
A new subsection 40A was also inserted.
If any person on whom a stop notice has been served is aggrieved by the stop notice, that person may appeal against a stop notice to the magistrate court by way of civil summons. On an appeal made pursuant to subsection 1, the court, A, if satisfied that permission was granted for the development to which the notice relates, or that no such permission was required in respect of the development, or the conditions subject to which permission was granted have been complied with, as the case may be, must quash the stop notice to which the appeal relates, or B, in any other case, must dismiss the appeal. Any person aggrieved by a decision of the magistrate court under subsection 2 may appeal against the decision to the Court of Appeal by filing a notice of appeal within 28 days.
Mover of the bill, Minister of Physical Planning and Development Control, the Honorable Spencer Brand. Subsection 6.2 of the Nevis Physical Planning and Development Control Ordinance was also amended to include an environmental health officer as a member of the Development Advisory Committee. Meantime, at the start of today's sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable Farrell Smithen paid tribute to the memory of the late Herman Liburd.
The late Honorable Herman Bobby Liburd served as a senator in the Nevis Island Assembly for the period 1992 to 2000. For all those persons who followed the sitting of Assembly would have said that he served the political party which he embellished very well. Nevisians the world over would listen intently to his utterings, which to most of them was very dynamic. He was, in my view, an astute politician. Senator Liburd, as I recall, was very passionate in his views on Nevis's autonomy. And this was most evident in his presentation during the secession debate in 1998. I happened to have been the clerk then. I vividly recall during the budget session of 1999, where he pointed that the figures were off. The figures for the budget were off. And he painstakingly drew the attention of the House to it. This, to me, identified the precise nature of the late senator. His passing, in my view, is a loss to the overall development of Nevis.
President Farrell Smithen also asked those present to stand for a minute of silence in honor of the memory of former parliamentarian in the Nevis Island Assembly, the late Herman Liburd. Monday, May 20th, saw the commencement of operations at the new water taxi facility at Wally Bay. Deputy Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, made that announcement today, Tuesday, May 21st.
President, we are not near to completion as yet in terms of the onshore or on-land infrastructure, but we're continuing with our work over there. The important thing, though, is that we have initiated the usage of the water taxi pair, and I will say I've stood there over the last day and a half, for example, not all throughout the day, but at various times, and I've listened to the comments, and so far I've been hearing absolutely favorable comments about the facility itself. Like I said, it's not completed as yet, but when it is done, I believe we'll have a world-class facility over there. One that is inviting to all of the visitors and citizens, residents who would use that facility.
Minister Jeffers called on users of the new water taxi pier to respect the facility, which he said will be managed by the Nevis Air and Seaports Authority, NASPA.
If you were to look just across the ocean from that, or just off the beach from that, you see where we're coming from to where we are and where we're headed. And I believe the member for Nevis 2 and Premier would have, thanked the Yarwoods for their patience, so to speak, in allowing the Nevisian public to utilize their property over the years. And I want to publicly thank them as well, too, for their patience and their understanding. But of course, they themselves had gotten to the point where they wanted to see a movement out of their area so that they can satisfy the needs and wants of their guests in a way that is consistent with the service that they're offering. So I want to thank them publicly, and I want to say to the Nevisian public that we are moving ahead in the right direction.
Deputy Premier, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, speaking during statements by ministers during today's sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly. Still to come,
we here in the Caribbean, we don't want to always to be a consumer. We want to be producers as well.
The details after this break.
Jump up, free up, bet up, no standing up. Love, passion, pride, culture, I'm a 45, yeah. Music, folklore, pageants, and so much more. Love, passion, pride, culture, I'm a 45.
Join us from July 25th to August 6th for the Caribbean's greatest summer line. It's Culturama 45.
Love, passion, pride, culturama 45. Love, passion, pride, culturama 45. Love, passion, pride, culturama 45. Yeah. Love, passion, pride, culturama 45.
Welcome back.
Yeah, what we're going to be starting with is just basically the skills that a person needs in making hats. Fascinators, hatinators, cocktail hats, such as what I'm wearing. We here in the Caribbean, we don't want to always to be a consumer. We want to be producers as well, entrepreneurs, and this is a wonderful skill for someone to learn. I've always been a vocational education teacher, and after I learned this craft, being the educator that I am, I wanted to teach it and spread it, amongst my folks here in the Caribbean.
Amanita Cassandra Chapman of Amikasi Millinery, the facilitator for a hat making workshop, which began on Monday, May 20th at the Jessups Community Center.
I've been doing this for about 3 years. And, you know, every day I'm in my hats. You got to hone your skills. You just can't get up and just do it. You have to practice it. And you're going to make mistakes, but the mistakes come out to be a style as well. I teach pop-up classes in hat makings, fascinators, and things like that. To my left, I have a felt hat. And you won't believe this hat. It's actually a hat that I got from a thrift shop. I upstyled it, put new veil, put new dots, put the flowers, and, you know, reformed it, reblocked it on a particular block that I have. And this one here is called a teardrop because of the shape, embellished with flowers and crinoline. It's a plastic material right now, but back in the olden days, it used to be horsehair. So, and then this is one of the actual blocks that we use to make the hats. Some of them you tie with a rope, others you stick with a pin, and you have your fingers to take them out.
The workshop, which is being coordinated by the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs, runs from 5 to 8 p.m. daily and will culminate this Friday, May 24th. To culminate the workshop, the ministry will host an event dubbed Queen City Soiree on the grounds of Government House from 3:30 to 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, May 26th. The event will feature special guest speaker Petula Skeet and showcase the work of the Nivision-born Emmy Award-winning stylist. Other local artists and designers will also be featured. Rivka Mekok of Riff Raff Designs, Yejedi Parry of Back to My Roots, Vaughn Anslin of V Designs, Deborah Terrell of Island Living, Cavell Mills of Ziki Designs, and Claire Joseph of CC's Fine Art Jewelry and Accessories. Admission to Queen City Soiree is $50 and tickets are available at the Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Freddie Liburd. Thank you for viewing.